So in this video, I'm going to be talking about lifestyle inflation and some things you can do to avoid falling victim to it and staying on track with your finances. So if you don't know what lifestyle inflation is, it's basically when you increase your spending because your income increased, and if you're spending all the extra money that you're bringing in, then you'll never get ahead no matter how much you're bringing in. See, look, I want you to picture this. Say you graduate from college and you're looking for a job. And while you were in college, you lived with roommates or at home or whatever it was. You worked entry-level jobs. Maybe you were a waiter or a waitress. Maybe you worked retail. Any normal job that like normal college kids have, right? And then you graduate college, and after months and months of applying, you finally get the entry-level job, and your $40,000 degree is finally justified. So let's say in college you made $2,000 a month, just to make it simple, 24 grand a year. You weren't living paycheck to paycheck, but you made it work. Like, you were frugal, you bought things on sale, you didn't go out much, you budgeted. Like, it wasn't pretty, but it worked. But then, you finally found a job and you went from making 24 grand a year to making 48 grand a year. And this is the most money that you've ever made. And full disclosure, I was a victim of lifestyle inflation too. Like, I remember when I got my first job out of school, I started spending my money like stupidly. Like, I used to buy food every day. I used to buy all these shoes because I was still into shoes back then. I got a new phone. I bought all these like stupid gadgets, and I made bad decisions with my money. But I think that was in part because that was my first taste of real freedom. Right? Like, I just finished school, I was 18, and I didn't really know any better. Fast forward a couple years, my mom unfortunately passes away, and then that kind of opened my eyes to, really tighten up on the budget and get my finances in order. But, I guess you could say is I rather figure out money when I was 22 instead of 32. There's like 30-year-olds out there that still have no idea about mortgages and, stuff like that. But why does lifestyle inflation happen? Well, it happens because once we get a new job or once we get a significant pay raise, we start buying things we've always wanted, and we start classifying them as needs. See, we go from having a 2007 Toyota Corolla to pulling up to the BMW dealership because we got a raise and we deserve a new car. You know what I mean? We go from living with roommates to wanting to live alone because we deserve it. Or we go from living 20 minutes away from downtown to wanting to live downtown because we got a bump in our income. So how can we avoid lifestyle inflation? Well, the first thing I'd say is to celebrate modestly. Order some food and stay in, and order something off your Amazon wish list or that one thing you've been eyeing. After getting a promotion or a raise, avoid getting a new car unless you slept on it like I talk in this video right here. Remember that, certain cars might require a more qualified, which essentially means a more expensive mechanic, and a bigger house will always almost cost more time, energy, money, whatever it is, whether that's time and energy from you or, you paying somebody else to do it, it almost always costs more of something. I've said this probably 50 times in all my videos, and I'm gonna say it again. Don't try and keep up with the Joneses. Just because your neighbor got a new BMW 3 Series doesn't mean you need to now go and buy a BMW 5 Series to one-up them. Just because your neighbor went on a 12-day cruise. No one's going on cruises right now. Why would you write this? Just cut it out in the edit. But just because, your other neighbor got a pool installed this year doesn't mean that you have to go get one now with a jacuzzi. And to top it all off, as if hearing about these, things people are buying isn't hard enough, social media gives everybody the ability to put it front and center right in your face every time you open up your social media apps. Like I said, social media is a highlight reel. People only post the good things about their life, them graduating, their new car, their new job, like things like that. They never post that they're getting a divorce or they just got laid off or, so just keep that in mind the next time that you're looking at somebody's feed and you say, oh, like their life is so good. Just keep that one thing in mind. And full disclosure, I was feeling pretty down pretty much all weekend because it was just one of those weekends when, I was just thinking about life and Like I was getting too caught up in my thoughts, and you know, I'm not gonna hide it. I'm gonna be transparent with everybody. And you know, speaking of social media being a highlight reel, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that my life is all amazing and stuff like that. Like I said, full transparency, like I wasn't feeling that good this weekend, but you know, I think I've kicked it basically for now. But you know, the reality is that all the people trying to keep up with the Joneses, they probably have no money because they're trying to keep up with the Joneses anyway. You know what I mean? Like they got the iPhone 11, and then the person that they're competing with got the iPhone 12, and then so the original person had to go get the 12 Pro Max, and it's a waste of time. It's just a waste of your energy. Like just keep up with your budget. Like you were existing perfectly fine before the raise. Like one thing that I've seen people do, which is actually kind of smart, is they create a separate savings account that automatically withdraws the extra money or the raise in their account, and they put it into a separate account. So okay, that was kind of confusing. So let's say that pre-raise you were making $2,000 a month, and then after the raise you're making $3,000 a month. So you set up an automatic withdrawal to withdraw $1,000 once a month into a separate account. And then as the saying goes, you know, out of sight, out of mind. And then at the end of the 1 year since your raise, you have $12,000 more and you're on your way to your financial goals. You know, one thing that I've realized is that life isn't a competition with everybody. You know, the thing I want you to do is I want you to just try and be better than you were yesterday, if that makes any sense. Like one thing that I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get my house in order. Like I still have many things that, you know, I'm not using that I would like to give away, but I don't want to throw them away because I know that somebody else can use them. But the thing with COVID now is that, you know, a lot of people aren't really picking up stuff because obviously because of COVID. So, you know, but that's one thing that like I'm always trying to do is I'm always trying to like slim down on the amount of things that I own. Like that's why I'm a minimalist, and you know, you could say I'm a fake minimalist or whatever it is. So many people compare themselves to others, and like I don't want you to compare yourself to me, and I'm not going to compare myself to the next person. It's just at the end of the day, it's just not worth the time, the energy, and you know, everything that it like takes out of you. But before I do end the video, I'm going to reiterate, it's not bad to celebrate a promotion or a raise, but celebrate within your means. So you're not constantly in a hamster wheel just waiting for the next raise, and then you know, you're spending money faster than you make it. Because if you get a raise and then you go and get a bigger house, then you basically didn't get a raise because you got a bigger house, but you don't get any of the benefits of having extra money, if that makes sense. So then when you get another raise, you're just gonna go get another house, and then it just turns into a hamster wheel, and then you're basically you're chasing the next thing, like, you know, in your life. And it's definitely not a way to live your life, because you're probably gonna end up either getting burnt out and you're not gonna wanna go to work, but oh wait, you have this like gigantic mortgage that you have to pay, so now you have to go to work, and then it turns into burnout. You're gonna hate your job, you're gonna hate your life. It just doesn't turn out well basically for anybody. But you know, hopefully this video helps you out if or when you get a promotion. I don't know who's getting a promotion now during COVID. You know, companies are barely even hiring. We'll basically see what happens. You know, leave comments, thoughts, feedback, everything else like that down below. And as always, thanks for watching.